Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. It is officially noon by my clock. Welcome to this week's Life Hacking 101 session. My name is Sean Anderson. I'm a librarian at the West Houston Institute, and I will be moderating today's session. Just a reminder, the Life Hacking 101 series is a collaborative effort of student life, library services, and career services. And we bring these really awesome sessions to you each week, which are recorded on the Student Life YouTube channel. So if you miss anything or you want to review anything, you can always catch it back there. So this week, we have the wonderful Steve Rota, who is an IT regional manager, who will be presenting this week's session of software, tech, and more. And I will let him kick it away in just a moment. As we go through the session, if you have any questions, feel free to go ahead and ask them in the chat, and I will let Steve know that there's questions, or you can go ahead and raise your hand, use the raise hand function if you have a question that you'd like to ask. You are more than welcome to do that throughout the session or ask your questions at the end. So I will now hand it over to Steve. Good afternoon, Steve.
Good afternoon, Sean, and good afternoon to everyone who's joining us right now and everyone who will be watching later. Thank you for that beautiful introduction. As Sean mentioned, I am one of the IT regional managers for Houston Community College. I have had the privilege and pleasure of working here at Houston Community College for over 15 years in the IT department. And I am hoping that today I can share something new with our students and also with our faculty on anything IT related that is new as far as software, technology, and more. So welcome, and without wasting any time, I will proceed. So I basically divided this topic into two major resources that we provide. So HCC is committed to providing resources to students to help with online access to courses and materials, and also to further your education, to help it easier for you to be able to get access to information that we provide. So I'm going to talk about some of the few that we provide. There's a whole lot, but I just want to focus on hardware and some software resources that are available for you. So hardware resources, if you go to our library website, so hccs.edu, you'll see a list of devices that are available for checkout. So those are the ones that I want to talk about today. So Wi-Fi hotspots, Dell laptops, Chromebooks, netbooks, and other devices that are there for accessibility needs. Some of these do require a letter of accommodation, so it's important that you get those. So I'll start with Dell laptops. So we have over 1,600 Dell laptops available for you to check out through our library services. These will enable you to be able to work online, offline also. They are equipped with software applications for your classes. We also have Chromebooks that are available for checkout, hotspots. And I want to talk about just some of the tips that are important. There are guides on checking out these devices, and feel free to ask questions through the chat, raise your hand, and Sean will let me know. But these are important tips that you need to be aware of when you're checking out any of these devices. And I'll expand a little bit more on some of these devices. So you must be a current student with no library holds to be eligible for to check out a laptop. You also must have your current student ID when you're going to check out. It's important to note that you can check out one device at a time. So Chromebook, netbook, laptop, you can't check these out at the same time simultaneously. So you have to return one to check out the other one. You can also go online to library.hccs.edu/devices and check for availability and make a reservation online. When you do make a reservation, please make sure that you pick up no later than 2 days, otherwise the reservation will be dropped. The devices are due at the end of the semester that you're currently enrolled, and immediately upon withdrawal from all HCC classes. So if you withdraw from all HCC classes, you'll be required to return the devices. There are overdue notices and charges that are applied if you extend your stay. So again, the charges are different for each mobile device that you check out. So please visit the website for more accurate information. Damage or replacement costs will also be charged to the borrower. So please make sure that you take extra care of the devices while you have them. It's also important to note that you may not take any of these devices outside of the United States. We do get notification when they leave certain geographic areas. So it's important that they're used within the United States. You can also contact HCC Help Desk if you have any login issues or software issues. So these are just brief important tips, but if you go to the website, library.hcs.edu, for each device, you will be able to get more detailed and more specific tips for each. So the other one that I do want to talk about is Wi-Fi support. So we do provide Wi-Fi access at HCC on campus. And we also have some options for people to use at home in case you're having Wi-Fi issues. So on campus, we have the HCC public wireless network. So you can connect your phone, your laptop, or the laptop that you've checked out from us. Just make sure that you accept the acceptable use policy for prospective students. So public is good for prospective students if you don't have a HCC credentials, HCC username and password, or HCC email, then you want to use the HCC public. HCC private is available for current students, so you will be required to log in with your username, user ID, and password after you've accepted the security certificate. So this is there to provide additional content within our intranet for HCC students. So keep that in mind. We also are providing outdoor Wi-Fi. We have some zones that we've dedicated in our parking lots so that you can access HCC Wi-Fi in the parking lot. Now, in order to find out which locations have free Wi-Fi in the parking lots, go to this website here and we can paste it in the chat. Or you can go to hccs.edu and just do a search for Wi-Fi zones. This website will show up and you'll be able to download a map that shows you exactly where we have coverage. So that's available, just in the event that maybe you're at home and you're having internet issues and there's a campus close to your house, you can just drive there, sit in the parking lot, and use our outdoor Wi-Fi. At home, we are providing a portable Wi-Fi hotspot. You can check that out through our library services. And a hotspot is really a pocket-sized router that allows you to set up internet connection on your laptop or any other device. So that's available, and The direct link is library.hccs.edu/hotspots. I really like how the library made these links easy to access. So library.hccs.edu/laptops. If you want to check out a laptop, Chromebook, /Chromebook/netbooks /hotspots. And these links have more information that will help you, self-help guides, frequently asked questions, some of the issues that students may encounter that they report to us a lot. We try to put in this into the frequently asked questions so that you can save time and do some self-help. I also want to point out that if you ever have any issues, just please remember that number 713-718-8800 to contact IT for any kind of IT help. So that's what I have for the hardware and hardware resources that are provided to you. I'm going to go into software. And under software, I kind of group this into 4 categories to make it easy for us. Computer lab, so this is anything that's on-prem, that's on-site. Then we have software that's also provided through our loaners. So that's any checked out laptops. And also personal PC. So if you've bought your own laptop, you have your own laptop or PC at home, there's some HCC applications that are provided. There's some applications that are actually provided by HCC, either purchased for students or through partnerships with software vendors. And also there are free softwares, educational software for students under category number 4 that are fulfilled by the software vendor. So this HCC really doesn't have a say as to when and how long they will be available, because these are fulfilled specifically by the software vendor. So some research is required on your part to find out which educational applications are available free for students. So on campus, we do have certain department specific applications. So let's say you're taking drafting, for example, we have a vast majority of computer labs that have the software that's required for your course. So our department is responsible for ensuring that these applications are installed in the labs and available for instruction. If you're taking a class that requires maybe a high-end or an expensive application that you don't have at home, you're free to and welcome to come to any of our libraries or open labs to use the software to do your homework or to just gain more knowledge. So it's important that you're aware of the hours of operation for the open labs. And there's a link here on our website that provides the hours of operation. Again, the easiest thing to do if you don't want to save this link is just go to hccs.edu and then on the top right-hand corner, do a search for open lab, and you will get this link that shows you the current hours, locations, and any other information that's provided by that particular department. Same for the libraries in terms of hours of operation. We also have some departments or some courses actually offer open lab hours for their computer labs. So you want to check with your instructor. Let's say there's an application that's being used in your lab that's not available in the libraries. They would provide access to that lab at specific hours so you can go in and do your assignment. So this is something that you need to find out with your instructor. In terms of loaner laptops, we also have software that's provided to you. And this is, if you go to library.hccs.edu and click on laptops, you'll see on the right-hand side software that's available on that particular laptop that you've borrowed. And we try to update the list of applications as they expand or as they change. So make sure that you are aware of what's installed on the laptops. We also have department issued loaners. So for example, if you're in computer science and you're taking a Swift course, we do provide Mac laptops for that particular course only. And so the software is required for that course are also provided in the checked out laptop. So for your personal computer, HCC provides and makes available certain applications that I want to highlight here. In order to use these applications or to request them, you will need a valid student email. So be aware that you want to make sure that your student email remains active and valid. So Office 365 is one of them. A lot of students are not aware that you have access to Office online just with your HCC email. So if you go to www.office.com and sign in, you will be able to see the applications that you need. And I'll just navigate from this and show you here. Excuse that. There you go. So if you sign into Office, you should be able to see, say a Word, for example. Look at the top left corner for all the applications. These 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dots will show you the apps that are available for you. And you can use each one of these apps online. So Office 365 is offered online. So just keep that in mind. And continue from here. So Adobe Creative Cloud is also available upon request. So if you go to pm.hccs.edu and sign in, you should be able to see your requests and put in a new request for Adobe Creative Cloud. Once you're offered, the request is fulfilled, you can go ahead and download the different packages, Premiere, Photoshop, and so on, and install them on your personal computer. Now, keep in mind that this expires in a couple of months, approximately 4 months. It's renewable online. Just go to pm.hccs.edu and request an extension. So in addition, different departments also provide software applications. One of them is computer science. So on the hub, I'm not sure if we have computer science students here, but onthehub.com is one that provides several applications for computer science students. Let me see. I'm going to be signed in as an instructor here, so I may have more than what you have, but here we go. This is onthehub.com. I'm signed in. I'm obviously faculty. When you go in here, you'll see that there's an announcement, Microsoft Software for Students. So Microsoft used to host applications right here on the hub, but they moved them out to the link that I have there, which is Azure for Education. So this will just take you outside of this website. But you can always, start shopping and look for different products. Well, you have to be signed in, so I'm not signed in. So once you sign in, create a username and password, always try to use your student email, just because they need to verify that you're a student. So it's important that you sign in with your student email. Now, I did talk to computer science department this morning, and they're refining how they allow students to gain access to software on thehub.com. So check with your instructor, check with the department on how this is done, if there are any changes. Azure for Education is another one that's available, and Microsoft applications are available there. So if you've not tried Azure for Education, go ahead and try to sign in with your student email, create an account with your student email, and see which applications are available for you. And these are provided by HCC through the departments. So the last category here, here's a snippet of Azure for Education. So once you signed in, you should be able to see a list of applications that are available to you as a student. Again, as I mentioned, I'm signed in as an instructor. I'm also a computer science instructor here at HCC. So the list of applications that show up here are going to be more than what you have. Then lastly here, for your personal computers, there are freely provided applications by software vendors. So what I've highlighted here is Autodesk, for example. And again, you need your valid student email, and you need to register and verify that you're a student. And this is all done by the vendor. So here's from the Autodesk page, students and educators can get free 1-year educational access to Autodesk products, renewable as long as you remain eligible. So you can confirm eligibility by putting in your .edu email. All right, so any questions so far?
So no questions have come up in the chat so far, but we can definitely give some air for any questions that people might have. Ask
Sure.
away, folks. You've got an IT HCC person here for you. I know some of y'all have burning questions.
Hello?
Hi,
Yes.
we can hear you.
Okay. Okay, I do have a question on the hotspots. Sometimes I travel and it gets hard, like if I cannot study while I'm using the phone. So as far as I think I understand that you provide this little boxes that provide internet. So I don't know if that's something I can use while I'm out and while I'm using my personal computer and use it while I'm on the road.
Absolutely. Actually, you're a typical example of who needs to get a hotspot. So we have 500 hotspots currently available for checkout. And I'm just going to navigate to this website real quick.
So I need to go online on HCC and look for it on HCC to request one before I travel, or is that a certain time of weeks or days, or how does that?
Yeah, sure. Sure, I can answer that.
I was about to say, do you want me to field that, or do you got it?
Yeah, I was gonna just feel free to add in if I'm missing something. So I'm showing you the website to request a hotspot, and these are the guides that I was saying. There's more guidelines for each of these devices, as well as instructions on how to set it up. But if you go to the left-hand side here, you can see that you can check the availability of hotspots at different locations. So let's say, for example, I pick the central library here. You'll be able to see what's on the shelf, right? Remember, it's a limited number, right? So you can always reserve at any location, pick up at any location. You can see what's checked out and the date that it's due. And more information. I think this one here is must have had a delay. So there's a hold on that that record. Correct me. Oops. My Wi-Fi.
So when it says +1 hold, that means somebody has requested that one, even though it was already checked out. Yeah, so you can see that some have not come back, even though they should, but they are checkoutable for the whole semester.
Okay. I also
Yeah.
have another question about,
Yes.
let me see. Oh my God, I can't remember. I think I lost it. It was something about the, I forgot. Oh, that's a shame. It was about the library, but I can't remember the question. I'm gonna give it a minute. If I remember, I'll come back.
Yeah, sure. And again, the different library locations have staff available to help you with library related questions.
I also, because I do have I have two close to where I live. I have the Felix Fraga campus, then I have the Coleman campus too, near. And
yeah, so Felix Fraga, you know.
And I also is like, I just don't know. Sometimes I just really want to get out of the house and go to a library. So I don't know how accurate if this the hours of the libraries are very accurate or updated every day. So I can just look at this that day. Probably I just wanted to go out like in an hour or two. If I go online and search for it, that the information will be accurate.
I can field that. It should be. Yes, we are constantly looking at those and updating them. So yes, week by week at the top, when there's the About Us at the top of the library website and you go to locations, each location has its own hours. If you go to locations and hours a little bit to the right, yep. Each location has its own hours. So the hours that are right underneath individual locations are reflective of that day. And then if you click on library website below a location, you can see the weeks, the hours for the week.
Okay. I think I saw it, but it's just like, I just don't know if it's really updated on the daily basis.
Yes.
So I didn't want to risk it. Like, okay, well, I'm thinking I'm going, but I just not pretty sure with that library it's open real or not.
You're always welcome to call us before you come too. They, on each of the library's pages, there are phone numbers, and you're welcome to call us before you come. But yes, they should be updated.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so while we're waiting for more questions, I'm just going to show you here the Wi-Fi zones. There you go. So again, if you just come here and do a search for Wi-Fi zones, you should be able to be led to this link. And let's say you want to go to Alief Hayes campus and you'd like to know which area is covered. So which parking area. So you can see from here, you can download the map as a PDF. So here's the Alief Hayes campus, Early College, West Houston Institute. So the areas marked in red is what you want to look out for. So if I go to Braze Oaks, that's a parking lot. So this is not available everywhere. So parking garage. So just select campuses. So keep in mind that it's not all campuses, just select campuses have Wi-Fi access for students.
Okay, I do have another question now that I'm.
Yeah.
I'm on the Career for You program, and I wanted to know if one of those links that you have in there, I think I saw something of science link in there. But I don't see the. I think it was the. I can't remember on which part do you show all the links with the one hub and things like that show up. So I don't know if one of those softwares that are available for students that will be helpful for me, that I'm just like right now, the programs are just everything online, and there are no teachers like teaching you like directly. It's just everything online, and they give you the book on a software too. So if any of those links could be helpful to just go searching for something extra.
Yeah, so my recommendation is that that's a question for the instructor. As I mentioned, computer science is providing software. So forget what you're seeing down here that you have to pay for. Computer science department is providing some software for students. And so your instructor should be able to let you know how to gain access to the software that's provided. So for example, for on the hub here, if you're in VMware Academy, which the department would enroll students to VMware Academy, then you'd be able to sign in and see applications that are available for you to use. But that's a question that has to be forwarded to your instructor, and he or she can work with the computer science department to provide access to all the students. So they're still in the process of refining how that's going to be done. And that communication will be sent to the instructor. And so that's your best bet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm just wondering that I do have another option, because I usually get stuck since they just give you a book where you can link and start doing everything from the book. And I just got, because they ask you some things that you like on the real world, on the job, which I do have no clue about it. So I thought one of those software could, send like a helpful videos or links where I could access to the information that I don't have from the book or from the teacher.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give you a quick example. Like there's some computer science classes that require lab, and while we were all 100% at home due to the pandemic, a lot of these labs had to be taken online. So we did provide portals that allow students to have close to hands-on experience with, let's say, configuring, installing Windows 10, configuring servers through extremelabs.io. I'm just gonna share it here. So as an instructor, we were able to move our classes to add our classes to extremelabs.io that gives students digital but hands-on learning labs where you can go in and do a fresh install of Windows, for example, which is a simulation of how you would do it on a real computer. So again, a lot of these are department specific. So here I'm talking about what computer science department has done for students as far as software and virtual lab resources. So it's important, again, to check with the department chair or the instructor on some of those questions that you have. And they are valid questions because you need real world experience when looking at some of these products.
Thank you.
I'm just going to sign here. Well, we still have a few more minutes. So if there are any other students who have questions, please feel free to ask. So this is I'm just going to show you that this is a Windows 10. So you can take the lab here, installing Windows, performing post installation configuration, configuring networking. So this is really a helpful tool for our students who've had to move all the classes from on campus to 100% online.
So wait, these are these are like videos that they teach you how to use these programs?
So these are step-by-step instructions on how to do certain things in this particular course, which is Windows 10. So without going too much into it.
Like if I want to learn how to use Excel.
Absolutely, those are available too via Extreme Labs, but you would have to buy, how while we were taking classes in class, you would have to buy a lab manual that you would go in class and do those step by step. Here, what you're buying is an online lab book that gives you access to this resource. So you're buying a digital book that gives you access to this resource that gives you the capability to do the lab here, as opposed to doing it on your computer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So for, if you're installing, let's say Windows 10, you'd need a laptop, you need the CD or the software, but you don't have that resource at home. And the library laptop that we check out to you, you can't wipe it and install Windows. So this gives you a capability to do it. So you see, this is just another computer, but it's on a web browser. So it gives you step-by-step instruction. The login asks you questions, you answer the questions, you submit it as your lab. So this is just an example for this particular class. And several computer science classes have this resource. Not all of them, but a lot of them do.
Oh,
so
okay.
Any other questions in regards to any of these resources that we talked about?
I just have a question because I
Sure.
was late.
Okay.
Is there any way that I could actually access any of this slides or something to look into it as well? So I was late, I'm sorry. Like access this or do
I'll field that question.
Yeah.
So this session is being recorded, and
nice.
Student Life sends out an email, and I send out an email in the Northwest listserv, but Student Life sends out an email to attendees and to the Student Life YouTube channel where all of these will be hosted. So you can watch the playback.
Cool. So these are free, I mean, or do we have to be included in a particular course to have this tried on or to take the lab?
Yeah, so for this, you just, for the devices to be checked out to you, you just have to be an eligible student. So I did discuss a little bit here. You have to be a current student, have your student ID, and check out one device at a time and follow the guidelines on how to take care of them, when to return them, and where not to take them. So as long as you're a student,
Nice.
these are available. And they're not, there's a limited supply. We have several laptops, but there is a limited supply.
Okay.
So for each one of them, you can go to the library's website and check availability. I don't think I discussed that, but I'm going to go here. So let's say you want to check out a Chromebook. You're able to check availability. Let's say Katy campus. So you can see what's available. And once you log in, you can reserve it and go and pick it up.
Does this particular program have a due date, or is it like available for the whole year?
Most of these are available for the semester. The devices are due at the end of the current semester.
Okay.
Yeah.
So every semester we can actually do this
Yes.
if we're enrolled. Okay, cool.
Yes. And Sean is keeping me honest here, so
I am indeed.
So I appreciate that.
Awesome. Thank you.
But yes, they're very, very popular, especially the laptops. So highly recommended that as soon as you know that you have a need, to check with your library. And while we'd like to say that where you go to see how many are available, we'd like to say that that's accurate. It's always best to contact the library directly, just in case, because sometimes there's things a little screwy.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions? All right, well, Steve, if somebody thinks of a question later, is there a way they can reach out to you, or a preferred way to have their questions answered?
I think the link was sent out. I think Dominic sent out the link, or was it you, Sean? I would recommend for the meeting. I would recommend that they contact, if they have a question relating to this, that they contact the moderator. But any other issue that you have, I'm just going to highlight this because some of these issues are IT related, and I may not be in a position to answer all of them or to provide resolution. So anything IT related, please call this number. And if it's something to do with this presentation, then maybe they can contact you, Sean. And if it's something that you can answer, but if not, then feel free to let me know, and I'll provide the answer. I'm not sure if that's good enough.
All right, I'll drop my email address in the chat again. So if anybody does have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. And then I also put the phone number for IT again in the chat. All right, well, thank you so much, Steve, for joining us today and for sharing with us about these devices and about the software. I know like a lot of people don't know about like the Adobe software and that kind of thing. So that's really, really neat. So I'm going to let Dominique do a wrap up here in a minute for student life, but just a reminder, these sessions are weekly. And next week, it's actually going to be library week. Woohoo! So next week, next Tuesday at 12, we are going to have multiple ways the HCC library can help you succeed with librarian Jessica Kim. And so we hope to see you all there. Please don't forget to register. And I'm going to hand it over to Dominique to do the student life wrap up.
Thank you, Sean. And thank you, Steve. This is really great information. I definitely appreciated it, and I'm sure that all of our attendees did as well. As Sean mentioned throughout the call, y'all, this recording will be available for playback via our Student Life YouTube channel. I will be sending out an email within the next couple of days with the link to the playback. And also, 3 of our lucky attendees will receive a $25 e-gift card that will be awarded to them. So be on the lookout via your student email. If you are a winner, you will receive the email stating that you're a winner and complete this form to redeem your e-gift card. And then also an email will go out to all of the attendees with the link to the playback and congratulating those 3 winners. Lastly, if you are attending this event for Eagle Points, those Eagle Points will be awarded within 2 business days of this event. For those of you who don't know what Eagle Points are, it's a student life incentive program where we actually award points to students for attending certain events. And those events are listed on our Presence website, which I will drop in the chat. And you can find our upcoming events there. And if there's a point associated with it, you'll see that. But basically, at the end of the day, at the end of the semester, you'll be able to review all of your Eagle Points to redeem free student life swag. And we have some pretty cool things there. We have some really nice reversible umbrellas, t-shirts, hoodies, and movie tickets. So there's quite a few options to choose from. So continue to earn those points. And thank you so much. And next week, if you come back, we'll have another chance for e-gift cards, as well as all of the students attending next week will receive a point for that event as well. Thank you so much, Sean.
All right. Thank you, everybody, and have a wonderful week. And we hope to see you next week. Thanks again, Steve.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.